Hello and welcome back to another SunburntSpartan session. So we're going to be focusing on how to do a basic setup on the defense for Lair basement. So before we start with the reinforcements and other things, we want to think about operator choices. Now this is a very structured and layered site, particularly on the warehouse side. So we're thinking we want some entry denial, site denial, and site delay. So operators like a Goyo, a Malusi, a Fenrir, there's a lot of little hallways that you can deny entry there. And then maybe a delay operator later in the round, smoke or a clash, for example. You can bring wall denial as well, but I will make notes on where you should put those wall denials. And spoiler alert, it is not the warehouse wall. Okay, so starting in warehouse, we're going to reinforce the outer two warehouse ones, making sure there's not an extra angle into warehouse already. Just making sure that the attackers actually have to use a bit more utility if they want to go through warehouse side. Now, warehouse can be quite strong early on, but as the time goes on and the attackers get more aggressive, there's a lot of angles that you can get trapped in warehouse from. If they open up the wall, if they go through that warehouse door. Same with the yellow stairs and barrels / electrical side. You can get pinched very easily, so if you want to play in warehouse early, this is a fall off position, maybe shoot a few drones, get a pick, and then slowly fall back to the next areas, which would be lockers and missile hall. Okay, so this is the second layer of our warehouse side. We are looking into lockers. We have a reinforcement on the left side and feed holes on the right side of the electrical wall. This is there to protect any pixel angles and peeks into the site of lab, but then also allows you to make sure you can peek anyone playing an electrical side here. Particularly if you're playing any shotgun holds tied on this barrel side here. This reinforcement protects you from the outside electrical door. You can see if they walk in, and then you can swing out on barrel side or electrical side here. Now once again, lockers is a strong position to hold, but a place to fall back from later into the round. So shoot a few drones, get a few picks, and then fall back towards lab side here. While playing on that locker side as well, we want to have missile hall and missile held to help assist anyone who is actually playing in lockers at that time. We want to reinforce this single missile wall, and this is where, if you bring wall denial, this is one of the main walls that we want to keep closed as long as possible. With this hallway, it is a choke point, so having a Goyo, Malusi, Fenrir's chucked along the walls or on the corners, on the doors, and just having someone wait here. You could have a shield here as well, play off, swing off, have a lot of util covering this missile hall. This will make the attacker push from warehouse more difficult, and it will force them to try and open this missile hall up. Now this area I would say is one of the power positions. This can be held all the way to end of round, particularly if you need to rotate in and out of locker's side. Just having someone play in here, and this can be an anchor position. Same with if they're pushing through stock or toxin side. Just having this missile hall control and missile area can be very strong. So that's our second line of defense on the warehouse side. We move further back towards toxin and lab itself. Now in toxin we have a reinforcement on the left side and a bolt rotate on the right side. Now the reasoning for the reinforcement on the left side is more so to protect anyone playing in lab, so I'll talk about that in a second. But this bolt on the right hand side means you can jump in and out of lab without getting shot from anyone playing in missile. You can go for that extra rotate, but it also means you can cover any hatch drops from inside of lab and any pushes necessarily in from lab support through toxin side here. And you can also hold the lockers door from toxin side here. So this is the second power position I would say playing in toxin. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies you can stay and hide behind and force the attackers to swing out into an unfavorable position. Now looking into lab side, we have the lockers wall reinforced. Once again, another choke point. I was just talking about the toxin angles, but in lab there's so many little angles you can hold. Further back here, you can just wait for people to walk into a Malusi or a Goyo, or you can smoke the door, make sure you deny and delay. This is where I would put another wall denial, maybe a mute jammer, something to deny this wall from getting opened. You can also play in this little connector area as well, just waiting for a swing, whatnot. Once again, a lot of different angles, and if you wait for them to walk in, this toxin and missile hall player can help protect any locker walk inside. Moving back towards the lab support side, if they want to go for a vert take or a back take here, we want to make sure our hatches are both reinforced. So one in armory, one in lobby upstairs. You need someone at the very start of the round to go reinforce these hatches, or the roamer as well, just to go up there and make sure the hatches are reinforced towards the later end of prep phase. These angles, particularly this hatch in armory, if you have vert control, you can see the entire side and cover stock and our little connector wall side just from above, and it will force the defenders to go upstairs and try contest above. Otherwise, it's a very difficult position to stop anyone from walking in lab support. We have the filtration wall reinforced. This is another wall I would recommend any wall denial if you have wall. Dangers of this one though is obviously this drone hole. You can chuck a nade through it, have a twitch stone straight through it. This is going from outside the building. It is a bit harder to defend any wall denial actually on this wall, but I think it is still a good idea if you have any leftover wall denial. Now for a rotate in between sites, this wall is massive and you can get quite creative with these different rotates. I personally like having the rotate on this side, a crouch rotate. You can make it a vault rotate as well, but the reasoning for this is you can get a pixel angle onto stock, so having a little bit of extra reinforcement here to help any toxin players holding stock as well. Also playing in that connector side, another angle onto that door. If it's a small angle and a pixel angle as well, usually you can run past it without getting damaged too much from an attacker holding that angle. But it also protects this lab player a lot from anyone walking in from the filtration door. See how we've got the desk here covering that filtration door? So if they're only pushing from filtration, you can sneak in, potentially get some angles, or you can come up at C4, or you can try pre-fire this angle through the door and they won't really see you, they'll just have to pre-fire back. You can put head holes or another rotate or other things like this. If you have a rotate more on this side, it means you're just more exposed to filtration and more protected from stock side. But if you do have that angle more on this side as well, as you see, it's not really very supportive towards lab side either. You can see them when they swing out, but because of this lab wall, if attackers get in and clear toxin out, they can just go for a plant safely behind this, and those head holes are only going to expose someone playing in lab support even more so. So the third power position I would say is in lab. A lot of different angles here, a lot of different places you can help hide and hold. You just want to delay people from entering this area as well, waiting for those sound cues to swing out. And our last power position would be this connector area / walking in and out into lab support. Particularly if anyone's coming on the filtration side, you can have a sneaky shotgun, you can have a smoke denying this entry, getting aggressive, and then you can even just have a clash sitting here watching these door and entrances. Danger of this area is the vert here. This actual area can't get verted, but the doorways can be covered from above, so you just gotta watch out for those things. So that is a basic setup for Lair basement floor. You can get a little bit creative with the walls and whatnot, but it is a very large site, so there's a lot of different angles that you have to be very aware of. It is a layered site, so you want to try and fall off areas when you can and try and survive till end of round, where those wall denials and site denials will come in handy. If they have any vert control as well, you need to think about walking up the filtration stairs or the yellow stairs. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult situation to try and go for a retake. So please share this video with your friends so you guys can test it out for yourselves. And a reminder, you can always get creative. This is just a basic setup, but this is a good foundation. And if you guys have any other ideas for setups, please chuck it in the comments so we can have a nice discussion. Good luck with the grind, and if this helped you, please check out my other tutorial setup videos.